How are we doing, guys? ALTV, Brentford versus Leeds, match preview of the game. I mean, this is absolutely huge now, but as far as I'm concerned, there's no point being nervous now because we've got nothing to lose now and everything to gain. You know, of course, Sheffield United, you look at it and you definitely think they've got the easier games over the next 3 games, and we're relying on Sheffield United to make a mistake, let's be honest, because 6, I think the difference in goal differences now, that is not going to be recoverable for me in 3 games. Realistically, that's going to be really difficult to recover in 3 games. So we need Sheffield United to make a mistake. Could it happen? Quite possibly. You know, you look at Hull away. I think that's definitely the one I look at on Monday, thinking there's big potential there. You know, for Hull getting a result there. But you know, we've still got to focus on our job. We can't do anything about what Sheffield United do now. You know, we can't do anything about the past results. The Wigan defeat, the Birmingham defeat, the Sheffield United defeat, the QPR defeat. We can't do anything about that now. But the good thing for me is there's a quick turnaround in games. You know, we're not having to sit on that result for a week. It's only 3 days and we're straight back on it against Brentford away. You look at the other times we've had bad defeats. You know, defeats you don't expect us to, you know, lose, but it's a championship at the end of the day. We didn't do enough in these particular games. But you look at Birmingham, QPR, we had quick turnarounds. 3 days later, played West Brom after QPR, probably best performance of the season. After Birmingham, we played Preston a couple of days later. Excellent performance away from home, at a tough place to go. So, you know, from that point of view, I'm feeling okay. But Brentford, at the end of the day, I've got some of the best attacking players in the league. Said Benrahma looks like he will be out for this game, but you've still got people like Neil Maupay, Ollie Watkins, Sergio Canos, and people who can cause us real problems, you know, individually in that lot. And you look at the way we defend against Wigan, we simply can't do that again. Our defensive shape was appalling against Wigan. We have to be honest. Not necessarily individuals, just the defensive shape was appalling. You know, the spaces between the centre backs, the spaces from centre back to full back. It was just so easy for Wigan to play through us, and you had 10 men, and it had a lot of counter-attacking opportunities. So we've got to really look at that defensive shape for me, and that's the key thing as well. And definitely got our Calvin Phillips starting that whole midfield role. We've seen what happens when you move Calvin Phillips out of that role and try someone else there. It just doesn't work, because in a single midfield pivot, you need your best defensive kind of player in that position for me. In terms of midfielders, Calvin Phillips by an absolute mile is that player. So yeah, in terms of team selection, I'm only making the one change here. You know, I don't think I've seen a few calls for absolutely 3 or 4 changes. I don't agree with that. You know, I think when you're playing with Marcelo Bielsa with the complex tactical instructions, we can't make that many changes because it's so difficult to, you know, go from game to game when you're making big changes with these kind of instructions. You know, there's going to be breakdowns in communication, etc., etc. For me, and I don't feel what other people produced on Friday, in terms of the substitutes, would justify any more changes. So for me, Kiko Garcia, Luke Ayling, Pontus Jansson, Gaetano Berardi, Ejan Iovski at left back. You know, Liam Cooper's out of this game, so we can't really make a change in the defence unless you bring in and trust Leif Davis to come in, which Leif Davis has done very well in the under-23s. But I think that's a tall order, if I'm being honest. So I'd keep the back 4 the same. Calvin Phillips holding, Pablo on the right, Matthias Click, Tyler Robertson in the middle, and I'm going to go Jack Clarke on the left in this game, Patrick Bamford up front. Now I'm going to go on to Clarke. Clarke has to start this game for me. We have to try something different on that left-hand side, but it's just far, far, far too predictable. I can't remember the exact stats, but I think Harrison and Alioski attempted like 40 crosses in between them, and I think less than 10% found the Leeds player. You know, it's absolutely, I think that's the stats I read. I can't remember it exactly. It was pretty appalling, whatever the stats were. So, you know, I just feel like left-hand side is too predictable. You know, I think a lot of teams, if they did the research on us, you know, scouting, etc., will see that left-hand side as, unfortunately, being a weak part of our game so far. You know, both off the ball and on the ball, it just doesn't offer enough. And it's not efficient enough for me. It doesn't vary things up, change things up enough for me. It doesn't try to take on its full back. It's just too pedestrian, I feel, like left-hand side. I just feel like Jack Clarke coming into this game against a Brentford team who like to push the full-backs high. Henrik Dalsgaard got sent off against Millwall, so he's out of this game. So the first choice right back is not playing this game. So it's an opportunity to bring in Clarke, test himself, you know, see what he can do, play a bit more as an inverted winger, because as soon as he's moved on to that left-hand side for the last 5 minutes against Wigan, he caused problems. And if he had played as soon as he came on that left-hand side, I feel we get something out of that game at least. I just feel he's been underused on that left-hand side. He has been given a lot of chances, but most of them come on the right side. I just don't think it plays to the strength of the team. I think the strength of the team at the minute is that right side of Pablo and Luke Ayling. They've got an absolutely fantastic understanding. Both caused absolute havoc the last couple of weeks. And then you've got obviously Mateus Click and Harry Roberts joining in with those attacks and that loss. I just feel we can cause problems. I think with that midfield four behind Patrick Bamford of Hernandez, Roberts, Click, Clarke, I don't know how you can stop that. If that's fully functioning out at its absolute best, I don't think many teams can stop that. You know, and that has to be better for me than it was against Wigan. You know, a lot more fluid, and just, I don't know, I think everyone just seemed nervous. You know, I think ran out of ideas to an extent. You know, Wigan did defend really well, but we just ran out of ideas. It just turned into aimless cross after aimless cross after aimless cross. But the good thing is, we've got a big opportunity now to make up for this. You know, a real chance to make a statement. There's not many teams will win at Brentford this season. I know Norwich didn't. I'm not too sure how Sheffield United got on. I think West Brom just about won there, but it's not an easy place to go. And of course, you know, yeah, it's just going to be a really tough game, isn't it, guys, at the end of the day? But let us know in the comments down below, who do you start on that left-hand side? You know, I think there's a call as well. I'm going to make a big call as well. I put Izzy Brown on the bench. I give Izzy Brown an opportunity to come on if we're in trouble. You know, I don't see what Jack Harrison's going to give us now. I don't want to be too critical, I don't want to be too harsh, but for me, because I do think Jack Harrison's a talented player. You do see that talent in his game, but I just don't know how I don't think he knows how to apply himself at the minute. That's the issue. You know, we saw it at the start of the season. He started the season really well. The talent is there, but for me, I think someone else deserves an opportunity now. I think Izzy Brown does. You know, Izzy Brown's played really well for the under-23s. Okay, he's not quite up to the fitness of this team by the looks of things on the under-23s, but he gives you that moment of magic. He did it for Huddersfield. Can he do it for us again? He's probably not going to get an opportunity, but that's just something I would do. I would have Izzy Brown on the bench. And if you're going to bring on Adam Forshaw, Kemar Roofe, for me, they can only play in their best positions. Adam Forshaw as a high 8, Kemar Roofe as a striker. That's how I see it personally. In terms of another big player I want to see more of, Jamie Shackleton. You know, I want to see players who play without fear. Jack Clarke, Jamie Shackleton, players who you can't play with fear at this stage of the season. You need people who just, I don't know, I just feel both play without fear. You know, I think that's just going to be so important. You know, I think the team is playing with, it just looks like it was worried to make a mistake. You know, the second half it just looked worried. You know, if it made a mistake, or you know, I think they were worried about what the crowd thought sometimes. You know, if they took on a player and they lost the ball, played a few grounds, I felt that. You know, and that's something we haven't done all season. You know, we've just played our game. That's absolutely no criticism of the crowd, by the way. The crowd had absolutely every right to be annoyed on Friday. I was absolutely seething, to be honest. But you know, I think the players have got to rise above that. You know, they've got to say, right, we need to, you know, just play without fear. That's it. It's pretty simple, really. I just think, you know, do what we've done all season. Little nice passing, you know, using our wingers, just being really positive with the ball. I just felt against Wigan, against Birmingham, I just felt the nerves had got to us, and maybe because we're back behind Sheffield United, you know, we're gonna play without fear again, like we did against Sheffield Wednesday, like we did against Preston. Of course, it's not that simple. Of course, you've got to say the opposition set up really well against us. Wigan. Paul Cook got his tactics spot on, but it's not going to get any easier. It's not going to get easier. It's only going to get more difficult. You know, Brentford and Villa to come up. We've just got to find that winning formula again. And for me, I've just changed one thing on the left-hand side. Keep the right-hand side the same. That's the strength of the team. Put a player on who's not going to show any fear. Who's going to cut inside. Could get us a goal or two. And just change things that little bit. That's the only change I've made. That's my feelings on the game, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the preview. Make sure you check out Conor and Joe's, who have been uploaded just before this. And I'll give you a review of Brentford as well, guys. See you later, guys.